Hey, Wisdom Warriors, we're
We're
back.
back. Woo!
And you're back too. So, welcome to another Wisdom Girl Wise Woman show. This is episode 112, The Model
Wow.
of a Wise Woman.
Wow. 112.
We ate no crumbs. Oh, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Wisdom Girl Wise Woman. And don't forget to
Yeah.
share this. I don't think I said share. Don't forget to share this. And yeah, would you like to say anything?
Well, I want you to introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Wisdom Girl. We're back.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. I'm Wise Woman Leslie.
She could not speak. She was lost for words.
All right. So, whether
So,
you are
a
doing,
teen like me
keep going.
or an older woman
Like me.
like who's been through it all. We're
Yeah.
here to inspire, encourage, and uplift you. So today we've got an exciting show for girls and women of all ages.
Yes, we do. We absolutely do. So let's jump right into it. So a lot of people hear Proverbs or they read Proverbs 31, which is what this show is based upon, the model of a wise woman. And they think that is just for older women. They think it's just for wives, people who are seasoned, have husbands, children, and all of that kind of stuff. But honestly, there's so much more wisdom housed in this scripture. And it really applies to every single girl, every single woman, no matter what age you are, no matter what stage you are in. There's something that every single one of us can get out of Proverbs 31.
Yes. So when some of our younger listeners, like mine, I'm gonna translate this to Gen Z, just in case there's any Gen Zers watching. I feel like my best friend is watching. Anyway, so when some young listeners hear Proverbs 31, they might be like, wait, this is about a woman who's like super perfect and manages her household and takes care of her husband and kids. So how does this apply to me as a teenager?
Yeah.
So let's break this down. Why do I sound like that? The Proverbs 31 woman isn't just a wife or a mom. She's strong, confident, wise, and has her priorities straight.
Yeah.
She's
Sure.
someone we can all look up to regardless of our age.
Mhm.
And there are qualities in her that we can all start building today.
For sure, for sure. All right, so maybe we should start by talking about who is the Proverbs 31 woman? Who is that person? Okay. And as we already said, we all fit that category. So, verse number 10 in Proverbs 31, it describes this woman as worth far more than rubies. So, a wise woman is valuable. Okay, very, very valuable. When you think of rubies, right, it's a precious stone and it's worth a lot of money. So, the Bible is teaching us that a wise woman is very valuable. And it's not just because of what she does. When you read through Proverbs, you see all these things that she does. It's not just because of that, but it's also because of who she is. What do you
Yes.
think about that, wisdom girl?
Yeah, a wise woman is valuable because of her character,
Mm-hmm.
because of how she responds to other people as a human. I
Yeah,
definitely struggle with that.
sure.
As a human
Mm-hmm.
being, I definitely struggle with that because I'm a little sharp at the mouth, I'm gonna admit. A little sharp. I'm a little,
Little razor.
yeah, I'm a little bit of a cutthroat person. But,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
if I
But
remember correctly, so is Jesus. So, because he said a lot of things. He ate every one of his disciples up. I'm sorry.
yeah, he was a little cutthroat too. That's true.
Yeah, he
That
had a
is,
bit of an attitude. I respect that.
that's true. But a wise woman, also a wise woman is not perfect. And I think when we read through Proverbs 31, we tend to think that, I know for me, it sounds like this woman is, she makes no mistakes. She is so meticulous. She's so perfect, right? But a wise woman is not perfect. Like we were saying, it's her character, it's who she is. There's room for grace. That's what I love. God extends grace to us as women. And so he looks at our character, who we are, how we respond, and all of that before he looks at the things that we do. The things that we do should match up to our character, not the other way around, because that's when we make the mistakes. When we try to match up the things that we do to a character. Now, that's not the way God intends for it to be. We should be doing the things that we love to do, doing the things that gives God honor and glory. And so the two would go hand in hand when we put God first.
8.
So
No crumbs.
go ahead.
So she works hard and she's wise with her time.
Yeah.
And her resources, and she loves her community. Me as
Yeah.
an introvert, trying to break out of my shell,
Hmm.
the possibilities of that happening are about 50%, not gonna lie.
Well, I think that when you work toward that, right? Because a
Hmm.
lot the other side of it is that a lot of people think that they are an introvert, but they really are not. It's
I'm
just
an
that
ambivert. I think that's, is that what they call it? Who's both introvert and extrovert and
I don't
ambivert?
know. I
It
know
starts
there's a
with the
term
A. It's
for it.
ambi something.
Okay, so maybe that's what it's like, ambidextrous,
Yeah, ambidextrous. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I think a lot of it has to do with just how comfortable you are in spaces, not so much that you're an introvert. Because you can be an extrovert in one situation and feel like you're an introvert in another situation. But this is
Yeah.
why I love um, the wise woman, right? The model of a wise woman that we're talking about today, because it has nothing to do with whether or not you can be comfortable with people, or you're a little withdrawn from people. What circles that you feel like you can kind of move around in. Is really all about who you are and what you do with what God has given you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
She's wise with her time. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that because it's all about. I'm trying to figure out the word for it. I have it in my head. It's about maybe not so much procrastinating, but sort of procrastinating. You know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. N- that's a good way of saying it. Like
Yeah.
knowing, being conscious of your time, right? That's what makes you wise. Be conscious that the time. This is something that I say all the time. That time is it's a commodity. It's it's like money. It's something that God gave us to use wisely. No
Yep.
pun intended.
Time is a privilege, not a right. Just saying.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It really is. It really is.
Not a
And so
right.
as
You're not
much as
obligated to time.
right. And it's the same thing with resources, what God gives us. It's the same thing. You have to use it wisely, because it we never know when time and resources will be pulled out of our hand.
Exactly. It's like somebody saying, and I have an example in my head. It's like somebody saying, "Oh, um, I want to learn how to." I was like, "I want to learn how to do better, like in you,
Mhm.
God, or something like that," and like tell me
Mhm.
how to do it, and then like you see like a 50,000 ads pop up on like TikTok about this new
Mhm.
NIV Bible from this company. Like, nah, I'm not gonna get it. And God's like, I just gave you the tools.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gave you what you asked.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And that happens. That absolutely happens. and we ignore it instead of being that wise woman, that wise young girl that we are supposed to be, being able to identify when God shows up. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I gave you the tools. I gave you
Mhm.
the recipe.
Yeah.
Why? Never mind. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes, now look, there's like this really good example, but this is not what the show's about. But I'm saying, when it comes to time and stuff like that,
Mhm.
like, you have to use it absolutely wisely,
Mhm.
because in the 10 minutes when you were doing nothing, you
Mm.
could have done so much more, you know?
Oh,
And
yeah.
you do not want that on your hands, like, dang,
Mhm.
like, I really could have been doing this and I just wasted 10 minutes of my life doing nothing.
Yep. Or doing something that didn't matter. Like I
Exactly.
hate when I'm not really a Facebook person. I don't go on Facebook that much. I go on Facebook when I need to go on Facebook, but I'm not there every day, like a lot of people are. However, I do go on Instagram every single day. And sometimes I get caught up in Instagram. Now, I could be looking for something that's like having to do with business or whatever, and I am emailing it to myself or something like that. But I'm on there. It's like an hour past, and I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe I spent all that time on Instagram, and I get upset with myself. So it's the same as what you're saying. A lot of times we waste precious time. Um, when we could have been doing something else. Sometimes it's
Exactly.
valuable, but it may not be valuable at that time. Oh, that's good. Maybe valuable, but not valuable at that time. Come on, somebody.
8. No crumbs. No crumbs. No
Yeah.
crumbs. Now, when it comes to I'm gonna speak about this from a girl, as a 13-year-old girl at this point,
Hmm.
because I can't really speak for anything older than me. Well, I can. I'm just
Yeah. Speak
as
from
I
your
was from my
with.
experience, when it comes to time and resources
Hmm.
and community, and especially when it comes to resources and community, as a black girl, it's hard to find something out there for
Mm,
you.
okay.
Like, not everything is like, some of these things
Hmm.
that you see, or some of these things that you say that you want, they're not catered to someone of my skin color, if you know
This
what I
is
mean.
true. This is true. And this is
And
where, go ahead. I'm sorry.
when it comes to time, like, as a black girl in school, like, school takes up most of your time,
Hmm.
but we're still seen in society as nothing and nobody. So you're trying to beat the odds, but it's a lot harder, because, like, you also want to have fun, but when you're seen having fun, then it's,
Mm,
oh, she's, I don't
yeah.
know, the Jezebel of this generation,
Yeah.
or the Bathsheba of this generation, or the Sarah of this generation.
Hmm. Yeah.
Love Sarah, but would not want to be her. She did a lot of questions. Or, I don't know, the Eve of this generation, the Delilah of this generation.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah. For
it's
sure.
like, you're trying, but it seems like nobody is on your side.
Mm.
Like, I have an example. When have you ever seen a movie, and tell the truth?
Hmm.
When has anyone ever seen a movie where a black girl was the main character? Like,
Well,
of course, there's a lot more diversity now. I'm saying, but
right.
like, where she's not the problem.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Which there are movies like that, far few and far between, absolutely. And unfortunately, I cannot think of one right now. If somebody knows who's in the chat, just let us know. Like name a movie. But like, okay, Women King, for instance.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Right. That's the
Based on a
only one
true
that comes to
story.
my mind right now, Woman King.
Hmm.
Because a lot of times, um, these movies that have Black women as the main characters, those that are few, because there's only a few, um, they don't always, the main character is not a wise woman, is not wholesome, is not honorable, is
They make her seem
like the Jezebel.
angry.
Yeah, angry and all of that. Exactly, exactly.
Now, this is just
Exactly.
as a black girl. I cannot speak for someone who's not my skin tone because I don't know what that's like.
Yeah,
But I just, I guess you could say I was lucky to, or not lucky, I was blessed to be born in a generation where 99% of my dolls looked like me. Like it took
you certainly were blessed.
forever for
Yeah,
someone to find something like that.
yeah, yeah.
Where there's more hair salons that could cater to my type of hair,
Right. Mm-hmm.
I guess you
Mm-hmm.
could say.
Yeah. And
So
this,
it's
mhm,
it's the basic stuff like that, and it's kind of
yeah,
now it's hard, but you have to, no matter what you're, if you're seen working hard as a woman, then you're a workaholic. Like there's
yeah,
nothing that you can do to get someone on your side. You work hard, you're a workaholic.
yeah.
You
That's
spend
true.
time with you spend time with your family and make time for them, then
Neglecting
you're
some.
not working hard enough. Like,
Yeah, yeah. That's true. There's a lot of things that we have to deal with, and a lot of forces that come at us.
mhm,
Um, and a lot of times we feel like we have to, the pressure is on to prove ourselves. But the beautiful thing about this particular this particular chapter in the Bible, Proverbs 31, is that it talks about so many different aspects of a woman's journey, and it is relatable not just to older women and to teenagers, but it's relatable to us as Black women, Black females also, because it talks about that woman who works hard, that woman who's an entrepreneur, that woman who takes care of her home, that woman who her children, sees as beautiful and as honorable, all of those different things. And it's really describing, us as Black women. Us, it really does describe that. And so it gives us some hope. I would hope I would hope. It gives us something to look at, because this is the model of a wise woman. And so if we
yeah,
are, and it doesn't mean the Bible never, it kind of alludes to her doing these things perfectly, but it doesn't say she's done all those things perfectly. So this is not about perfection. This
it's
is about
about you doing it.
doing it, yes, and balancing the time, and knowing, okay, today I might not, like, I'll tell you right now, I got a sink full of dishes today. I do not go to sleep with dishes in the sink, okay, but I got a sink full of dishes today because I had some other things to do. Now, if I were in my other life, if you will, when I had to do everything, then it would annoy me that there's dishes in the sink. You know what I'm saying? So it gives us the opportunity to kind of balance things and see that, yes, we do a lot, but at the same time, what we do, as long as we have great character, it is honorable to our Lord and Savior. It's
Yeah,
honorable to honor us in what we do.
yeah.
Yeah,
So verse 26 says, "She opens her mouth with wisdom." Of course, this is coming from Proverbs. "And the teaching of kindness or faithful instruction is on her tongue."
yeah.
So,
What?
I should not. I now look. I'm a very, very nice person.
Okay.
Very sweet, very welcoming, very.
You're all those things.
I'm everything.
But
But
what you gonna say about your tongue? I feel it coming.
I'm also I also have a tongue.
But wait a minute. I'm gonna stop you. I don't really think you have a sharp tongue. I think you think it, but you don't always say it. You can say it,
I
but you're
do,
not
I don't.
always.
I'm really glad. I'm like, if I said this, I'll be like, I want to say this so bad, but you know what? I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to go to heaven.
Right.
I, I just want all of you to know I'm not going to hell for none of y'all.
But none. None ya.
None ya. No, no,
Yeah.
nobody in this room.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I have a sharp tongue because of my. I
How
have a
you
sharp
think.
mind, that's for sure. My brain is be braining. I'm
Right.
like, I'm so glad I didn't say this. I'd
But
be like,
see,
at the
that's
end of the
what
day,
wisdom is. That's
like,
what
I'm not
wisdom.
gonna lie. I low key feel like I'm the definition of turning the other cheek. I'm not
Mm.
gonna lie.
Okay.
No, that might not be true because I always say something back, but what I really can say, I don't say.
But
You
when you
know?
think about the words that you use and when you use it, that's wisdom. That's a wise woman. And guess
Yeah.
what? Um, when you were talking about when you were quoting that verse 26, and how she opens her mouth to wisdom, and the teaching the kindness is on her tongue. We don't always have to wait. I hope people hear. We don't have to wait until we're older, right? Or quote unquote more successful to start living with wisdom and kindness, which is what you were just talking about. How you think before you say it. Let me not say that because, right? And if,
Mm-hmm.
if you're a teenager, or if you're a young girl and listening right now or listening later on, you have to know that you can be a light for your friends, that you can be that person that kind of connects your family together. You could be the one who's serving your community. You could be that one. You could be the one bridling your tongue sometimes, like wisdom girl, right? You can be that one, and then you are absolutely displaying a model of a wise woman, a model of a wise female, if you will.
Yeah. I had something in my head just like 2 seconds ago. The problem is that nobody wants to see a wise woman, because then
What
she's.
do you mean?
Listen to what I'm saying. Just I
Okay.
want you to think about what I just said. Nobody wants to see a wise woman.
Okay.
Maybe because a wise woman sometimes has more of the dominant hand. You get what I'm saying here.
Okay.
You know exactly what I'm
So
saying.
no one wants to see a woman who there used to be this commercial. Now this is very old school. You are not going to know what I'm talking about.
The Weekend do a commercial with the girl, and she had the strong, and she had like her muscle, and she was so strong and stuff like that. Yeah, I know that
Not
commercial.
that one, but that's a good one too. Um, there's a commercial. The song says, "I can bring home the bacon." If anybody in the chat remembers this, let me know. I can bring
I
home the bacon
know
fried
which
up
one
in
you're
the
talking
pan.
about.
I don't even remember the whole thing, but it's about I can I can I can go make the money. I can bring home the money to feed the children. I can do this and that because I'm a woman. That was the that was the basis of the commercial, the song in the commercial. And so it reminds me of Proverbs 31, the woman, because, I'm doing all these things and I'm a woman. In other words,
Yeah.
I can still do these things. So with you saying nobody wants to see a wise woman, that is probably true. But I think we are living in a time right now where that is changing. The tide is changing. You hear more people agreeing with women stepping up in leadership, with young girls stepping up in leadership now, and supporting that than you did in the past. Although the flip side is those who really don't want it, you hear their voices loud just as well. But I
Yeah.
do believe that more people are getting with the program because whether they want to believe it or not, God is raising up women. I mean, that's just where we are in society, where we are in the world. God is raising women up and raising girls up. I mean, look at Amanda Gorman. How old is she? She's a young girl. She
She's
started
wasn't
when
she
she
19 when she did the inauguration?
yeah, but think about all the time it took her to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? She had been walking in that since she was what, 11, 10, 11 years old, something like that, to get to that point.
I just want everyone to know that it was a woman that was the exact reason why you have syrup on your pancakes. Aunt Jemima was founded by a woman,
Okay, well, we can't
and I
go
thank
there.
her very much dearly because I make
Yeah.
pancakes all the time. That's their
Well,
behavior.
a woman did a whole bunch of things, but that's you know
Facts.
that's a whole different show. But oh Lord, we running out of time. Speaking of that, but God is raising up women, and God is raising up wise women, and I believe that we really are operating in wisdom. We could have bum rushed, and some of us maybe we did, but we have waited in the back. We have still worked on us, did all those things that Proverbs 31 talks about. We built businesses. We've served our families.
We
We've
sent
raised
a man to
children.
the moon.
We sent the men to the moon. What? Come on. We did all of these things, right? And now God is saying, all right,
We made the
I'm
best songs ever, not gonna
I'm
lie.
pushing you to the front now. It's a model of a wise woman where we can work the way we're supposed to work, build what we're supposed to build, but know how to still be feminine and still be gentle and still be kind, right? And still be loving and still nurture. Or listen, God knew that a man could not handle it. I mean, that's just it. I got listen. I had you in the garden and you don't really know what to do. Let me create
You
something I've
bored.
never created before for you so that she can make everything all right.
Well, she made everything mid. Everything was
Well,
okay.
okay, well, she got tricked, but we ain't talking about
She
that
got
part
checked.
just.
Iris, honestly,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie. I spent years blaming Eve up until like why are you the way that you are? Like why did you? What was the reason?
Yeah.
And I was like, and I was saying, I was talking to my parents, and we were talking about how I was like, why did Eve have to eat that apple? And they were like, we actually don't know if it was an apple. I was like, I really hope it wasn't a mango, because one thing she's not gonna do is she already ruined the way my stomach is built. What she not gonna
We're
do
gonna ruin no mangoes
is
now.
ruin no mango for me, because that's my all-time favorite fruit.
Right. But
Like
she ate no
not
matter
today.
what. She ate
She ate. I
something.
mean,
You
oranges,
know that.
sure. I don't eat oranges that often. They're good, but I don't eat oranges that often.
Don't
But
be
if she
wasting
ruined
no
mangoes for me, it's over. Already got my stomach
That's
buck up
hilarious.
crazy. Not today. But then I remember I was like, nobody is that different from Eve. We've all
Mhm.
eaten a forbidden fruit from a serpent before.
You got that right.
We're not perfect. Eve was not perfect.
Right.
Trust me, she was not perfect. But
She was until she was created
she is
perfect.
apparently like my great grandmother like 15 billion times removed. So you have to love her, right?
You have to love her, absolutely. All right. So you know what? We are 30 minutes in. Let's do this. Um, we want to give you some practical tips for all ages, for everybody to become a wise woman. In addition to what we have already talked about. Number one, you got to focus on your relationship with God. That is paramount, right? A woman's
Yes.
strength, yes, it comes from her faith. That's the thing about women being strong. It comes from a place that we know we need. We need God. We need something more than who we are. So you got to build up your relationship with God and keep that the main thing, right?
Yep.
What else do we have to do, this girl?
Think about your daily actions. We were just talking about this like not too long ago. How
Yeah,
can you show kindness and wisdom in your everyday life? It could be standing up for a friend who's been bullied, being a mentor to someone younger, or serving your
right.
family in small ways. Just
Yeah,
daily things that you can do.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And then the last thing is to be resilient. Okay, we got
Mm-hmm.
to remember that Proverbs 31 says that she laughs at the days to come. Right, so that doesn't mean that life is easy. It doesn't mean that everything is going to be like on easy peasy Main Street. But she faces whatever she needs to face with confidence, So even when life gets tough, even when life throws you a curveball, whatever it is, whether it's peer pressure, whether it's challenges at work, whether it's family struggles, whether it's issues in your home and your marriage, trust that God is with you and you are strong in Him. If you could do those three things, focus on your relationship with God, think about your daily actions, and then be resilient, then you are on your way to being a wise woman. If we live
Yep.
that out, then God gets all the glory. God gets absolutely all the glory. All right, we have to go, y'all. We thank y'all
Yep.
for hanging out with us for a little bit. What's next week's show, Wise Woman? I mean, Wisdom Girl. Before you close
Next
it out.
week's show is Coping with Family Dynamics. That's going to be an
Okay,
interesting show.
that's gonna
I'm
be a good
excited.
show. All right. We thank y'all so much again for being here. We thank you for just hanging out with us for a little bit. Tell them what we want them to do.
Like,
With
share, share, subscribe.
yes.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Wisdom Girl Wise Woman. And we will see you next week.
All right, everybody. Bye bye. Thank y'all.